You can see here people coming out with items left and right, looting the Family Dollar here on Greenfield Street.
This is the part I want to make crystal clear. Not only were these two men taken off of the streets of Southport with this side job, they were also taken out of the county, even out of the entire state, when they should have been right here. Trooper Kevin Connor, no stranger to law enforcement. He has served as a state highway patrol trooper for the past 11 years, based right here.
We are the best way to keep people informed, but why can't I get across that bridge to show the folks that live in your community and are tax-paying citizens what the damage is like? A 30-minute ride.
These are the angry seas that we've been talking about. This is the south wind.
This is probably one of the prime ways to enjoy all the 26 miles of intercoastal here on Topsail Island. I gave it a shot. Just open the gauze, wipe down your skin, and that's it. And I asked the queen, whoops, there goes my crown. Marching
and then
gliding. This is the storm surge coming through here now. People taking duffel bags and trash bags, now noticing that we're here, running away from the camera. You can see people inside here, people with t-shirts over their heads, coming out with bags of items. Hey guys, you know you're looting, right? You know you're stealing.
2016 was a roller coaster year for the Beatties. Their home flooded in Hurricane Matthew, and their 11-year-old son had a successful kidney transplant. Now, after Matthew, they gutted their home to start fresh, hoping to rebuild and bounce back. But now, with a second low blow from Florence, they say that seems unlikely.
When you drive back up, you think of all the memories you've had here, all the things that you've done with your children here.
This is the Beatty family home after Hurricane Matthew, a house where their children took their first baby steps, had their first birthday parties, all tainted by a storm.
Nature took all those memories away. And now when your children ask you, Mommy, are we going to have another home, a home of our own? It's hard to tell them, Mommy, you don't know when.
That's because this was their home last week, a rooftop barely visible after Florence's floodwaters. Today, we were there with the family as they went inside for the first time.
Oh, it's worse. It's already started molding.
The home still sits gutted after their first attempt at repair post-Matthew, but the water line clear as day.
It went higher.
More than 7 feet up the walls.
Sometimes you wonder if God is testing you.
Tree limbs, mold, and mosquitoes inundate a home they spent their life savings on. A first look just too emotional for Letitia Beatty to bear.
I just want a home for my children, where they feel comfortable and safe again. All our hard work gone.
The family had hoped to return to this home so their son, who received a kidney transplant months after Matthew, could recover in comfort. But now, that's unlikely.
If Khalid was to return to this home, it will put his life at risk.
The family takes comfort in this framed photo.
The 10 Commandments did not fall.
A symbol of hope and faith that has now weathered both storms.
But I believe our faith will get us through. And one day I pray that the blessings on the other side is more than what we could ever handle.
That family of 6 currently in a single wide trailer just down the road from their flooded home, where they were forced to move after Hurricane Matthew. They're sitting in limbo while they wait to see if FEMA plans to buy out their home for the appraisal value prior to Hurricane Matthew. What she found, Fran, will of course give you goosebumps. Valentino feels she has hit every brick wall while trying to seek out the person responsible for her sister's murder. But this weekend, a possible gleam of promise in her journey for justice.
It's normally during the scorching hot month of July when Lisa Valentino trudges through the woods off Carolina Beach Road. Dodging sticks and branches, a somber place she comes to remember her sister Allison Foy, murdered and dumped like trash in this ditch back in 2008.
I would trade everything that I've done to have Allison back, to have her kids, have their mom, and, I would give it all back to have her here.
But on this visit, a sign of hope that maybe, just as the season will soon change, So will the page of this 12-year-old cold case.
And as I walked up, there was this cross on the tree out of nowhere.
A wooden cross freshly bolted to the bark of the sprawling oak where her sister was left to die.
I mean, you can even see the glue.
No note, just a mysterious gesture.
Someone thought enough to make this and put it up, and I don't know who it is, but it touched my heart. So that she was remembered by somebody else besides my family and the community that I've been working with.
A glimmer of faith at an ironic time, as it's not yet the anniversary of Allison's death.
This is what's needed now for me, and that I was going to be here, and that they knew I was going to see this. That's what it feels like to me. Like it's a personal thing, because why, after all these years later, would this show up here on a weekend when a lot of people know that I'm in town?
A chance encounter, as Valentino just happened to be in town for a missing persons conference and checking in with WPD's new detective on the case.
And maybe it's someone's way of saying to me, don't stop what you're doing, persevere, see it through to the end.
Now, the irony, you could say, or happenstance continues. Maybe call it a coincidence. But tomorrow, the founder of a system called MVAC, it's a new wet vacuum style DNA forensic tool, will actually meet with the WPD to show them how this tool could perhaps assist in pulling DNA off of Allison's clothing. Right, John, Hurricane Matthew washed away everything Johnson and her husband owned. The rising Black River engulfing everything. Her long recovery, though, has been paved with hearts and helping hands, and most importantly, faith.
They told us we had less than 2 hours to get everything we had in this house.
480 Kaintuck Road is a place Kristen Johnson and her family called home for 25 years.
Everything was destroyed. The walls were falling in, the floor was buckled. My refrigerator was turned completely over.
The foundation of her family's life's work engulfed by the Black River.
When it first happened, everybody said, we hate the river, we don't want to live here anymore, we're going to sell our property, And I said, well, wait a minute, I was baptized in that river. Let's don't hate the river because of it. We love it down here.
The same stream of water that washed away her sins stripped her of her possessions, but not her will to bounce back.
They have completely done everything they said they were going to do, and we're just so blessed.
Volunteers moving out saturated furniture, ripping out walls, to raising up her home. And now it's time to settle in.
This is going to be the living room. We've got some furniture in here. This actually used to be the kitchen.
Sparkling new appliances, fresh paint and furniture, thanks to the dedication of hundreds of selfless volunteers.
I'm smelling paint, new paint, and it's unbelievable. I can't even, there's no words to tell. Tongue can't even tell, It's just like a dream, and I haven't quite woke up yet.
Her new home still just feet away from where the Black River flows, but this time with a stronger foundation. Cinder blocks raise it 14 feet high to prevent future flood damage.
Don't ever take things for granted or take them lightly when it comes to weather.
But that strength is built on more than just concrete. Builders scrawled scripture on the blocks, those words of faith now laying the groundwork for Kristen's future.
Jesus gets you to it, he'll get you through it, and he has definitely got me through this.
Look closely. See the little girl down there dressed in the bright Christmas red? With rosy pink cheeks, a face full of freckles, and long red curly locks, Vivian Leiden has command of her living room.
We need 2 more things.
A Christmas stocking factory of sorts where she's playing the role of elf.
People that don't have homes, they should deserve to have a nice Christmas because a lot of people, don't have a nice Christmas.
The 8-year-old isn't asking for gifts this year. Instead, the 3rd grader is packing, plucking, and stuffing. 100 stockings full of love. She says each item inside holds a special purpose.
Tissues for their runny noses, And ponchos, just in case it rains. Like snacks, because like just in case if they didn't have food. Socks for it since it's like winter and it'll keep their feet warm. Play-Doh because like if they were bored and they needed something to play with.
She calls it Vivian's Stockings of Joy. She raised $1,000 on her own to buy all the supplies she will in turn hand out to the homeless.
A lot of people don't think of this idea. A lot of people just think about their self and don't think about other people. And it's kind to do that type of stuff.
She's got until Friday to reach her goal of 100 stockings stuffed to the brim.
We gotta go, we gotta get money, we gotta go to the store, we gotta go shopping, I gotta get my stockings, and she just pushed and pushed and pushed and she wouldn't let it go. And
a selfless Santa with a heart of gold.
But that's her personality, and she's always been like that, and it's a great quality to have, and we don't want her to ever lose it.